Viewers waiting apparently. Right. As per usual, I have to wait for my viewers to come in and we'll get going with. I've got quite a few updates, so yes, just there we go. One so far. I feel free to put a comment in the box down there, and I can figure out who's who. Oh, take it. Hello? Not a problem. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep, exactly. The only thing I want to kind of bring to your attention, it only just came to my mind actually, to be honest, was actually, you see, when I was going across between the blue car park, the green car park, the main car park, IKEA, when I was going behind that kind of cycle path behind the blue car park, there was a guy that was talking to me, member of the public, and he was getting quite annoyed about the, in quotations, mod up cars and fannies driving around inside it. And I could hear it myself. I couldn't identify brands of motor, but it was a lot of kind of stuff. And I don't know if that could be anything. And also the other thing is, as you know, it's a wee foldy up bike, and I wouldn't be surprised if they knew how to unfold it and then basically chuck it in the back of a car. I wouldn't even be surprised at that cost, to be honest, or even likewise for a van. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Right, okay, oops. There's probably a less and less likelihood as the day goes by in it. Mm-hmm. Right, not a problem. Just a wee bit of further info on the situation, right? The bike was 599. Plus, I had custom aftermarket pedals on. That was 45, so that brings it up to 644. And USB power headlights and tail lights, so that brings the whole thing up to about 720. Mm-hmm. When I went at the point of purchasing, there was no insurance formats available, and also housing, with our housing slash housing insurance, I've actually checked, and because there's a good chance the bike could be out of the house 75% of its life, GHA, as in Glasgow Housing, just want nothing to do with it. Mm. Excellent. Yeah, it's mental. It's these mad situations, Although premises could be filled with CCTV devices, someone somehow gets between the gaps. And it's utterly crazy. Yep. Also, just to let you know, I've got two locks from the replacement bike I only got yesterday. and basically one is a level 10 according to Harvard's, and the other one is a level 8 security. So hopefully these things should cover me well. But I mean, when I was in the shop, I seen a lock at £70. It had 120 decibel alarm on it, but I thought if I get that and someone tinkers with my lock, I could get charged for breach of peace or something. I'm sure. When I first looked at it, I thought that's irresistible. I'm getting that, but when I thought about it, I thought, what? If someone tinkers with it, does a runner, I'd be responsible for the racket. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, exactly, and I'm sharing it about social media as well, like on YouTube lives, and also I've made posts on local groups and actual groups I'm involved in, and then my own page. But nothing so far. I've been checking and refreshing and everything else, but it could be one of them kind of type Maddie situations. So, yeah, you want my email address? Well, say excellent. That's the one. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. So thanks for calling so late. Mm-hmm. All right. Not a problem. I'll keep you posted myself if I hear anything. Okay. Right. Cheers again. Right. Thanks. Bye bye. Okay. 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 We are on our live stream. Don't have anybody in the wee bit up at the top, but yeah. If there is anybody in the If there's anyone in the audience but they haven't made themselves known, well, drop the comment and see who's here. I know causing a what's happened here. ScotRail stock services between Glasgow and Ayr to deal with an incident. Oh gosh, somebody's fucking been whammed with a train. See, that's the thing with Ayrshire Mental Health Services. Ayrshire Mental Health Services are non-existent. They're only interested in jagging and gagging and medding and bedding when it comes to. This is why we. Uh, right, but I'll try and get something. Even if an audience doesn't appear for whatever reason, I'll do a quick run. I'll be doing that in a wee moment. Actually, yeah. Got a bottle of juice somewhere. But I wasn't that mental timing. If you're wondering who was on the phone, that was Police Scotland, and they basically have told me that they've done a walkabout around a car park and other car parks, and also you heard me calling out a cause for concern with regard to Blue Car Park and a noise. Uh, the person that brought this cause for concern towards me was actually quite kind of wound up by noise. I could understand why in some ways, because if it cars are always noisy, but when they're contained in some kind of car park and revving the shite out of the engine out of normal range, it can get quite annoying, especially if you've got a headache or maybe you've got a migraine. I mean, I've had a wee migraine or two in my life. They're horrible. They are honestly are true and utter shit cunts of the body. But yeah, I mean, I can still see 0 viewers. But that's sometimes you do get 10 views on your person and no views. It's just the way YouTube works. But anyway, yeah, as I said, start of this video, Police Scotland had phoned me up and they had given me an update to what I had previously. But we'll try and work down from most recent down to that one, then down. Anyway, so yeah, the officer phoned me up just there, and he had told me that he and the full security team at Braehead had had a look through the CCTV in the car park in concern. They seen nothing, and one camera that could have had something was pointed the opposite way. It's a fixed camera, unfortunately. I did say to him, is there a chance that somebody has just picked the lock, folded the bike in half, and drove off in a car? It's easy enough. I mean, if you know the right way, that bike could be folded in the car boot and locked within 5 seconds. He said that could be a possibility. We'll have to have a look at Reggie plates. And I told him about Blue Car Park and all the issues surrounding that. And he said that could be looked into as well. And yeah, he just gave me an update that nothing was found in the camera. So, short summary, we'll go down to second update now. Second update was yesterday. No, bugger it, it was earlier on, and that was basically the same officer saying to me that collection of bikes that Braehead Security and Police Scotland had found have nothing of my description. Unfortunately, that's the case, and he basically was saying, expect to hear the worst, it's not going to come back. Yeah, and the update from then, the second most recent update was basically saying, they found a collection of bikes and they were looking through it. And then the one after that, right away down the food chain, this is going down a good couple of days now, a bike was found, a black bike was found, and we're looking at it. That was within a couple of days of the bike being reported stolen. They found a bike, but through, as I said, through the days they looked at it and they looked at others, and there was nothing bearing my description on it. And the police today said, we've looked through them all and there's nothing of your description, unfortunately. And it was kind of like, well, expect to not hear anything further on the matter. So that's it. And just up there, just only a few minutes ago, that was the police basically saying to us they'd done a CCTV download, checked everything, and had seen nothing, but there was one camera that was pointing the opposite way and where the bike was, and that could have been really good, but unfortunately pointing the opposite way. And that's that. But they're going to check Reggie plates and stuff, so it isn't 100% closed, but clearly, it's moved on from returning the bike to me to going investigating the case, like through Reggie plates, CCTV, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's kind of. He said, the case isn't going to be closed. there is still CCTV to be checked and everything else and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty. It was pretty. Nah, if you get me. And it happened. And interestingly enough, one friend of mine, not hugely long ago, and I'll not refer to him by name because I honour, you know, data protection and all that shit, even on a YouTube video. But he had property stolen off him, and yet he was saying to me when I told him about it, was he said it took him about 5 days to calm down from it. He was very angry and he was hurt and he was lost. You know, he had that 5 days. He said, expect yourself to have the same 5 days. And he wasn't just, he wasn't just saying it for saying it. He was actually saying it for common sense sake. It will take about 5 days to kind of get over it. And the thing was, I mean, he was right. He knew what he was talking about because he had experience himself. When that exact day it happened, I was fucking seething. And the next day, I was just lost. Like, why would someone do that? The third day, I was quite suspicious and like, I was even thinking to myself, well, if there's not a distinct needed purpose for me to be out today, I'm staying in. Day 4, I was starting to feel a bit better, and day 5, I was starting to feel a bit better still. But it was, in today's 6, would I say normal self? I'm not going to put my hands to that one. But yeah, I mean, I think the things that have actually kept me relatively put together in that aspect is I've been literally going from police station to police station to police station to police station. Although I'd reported it to police and security and stuff like that, I had tried to, assist in case it ended up in like, the Helen Street one, because that's quite close to Braehead in geographical terms. I went to Paisley, I went to Renfrew, my own officers from Johnston. I spoke to Stewart Street because that's a retail type police station. I had pretty much. I pretty much tried to, even pound the pavement at the earliest point. When the incident happened, I actually went up to a green car park, covered red car park, had covered the back blue, that kind of cycle path through. I had checked the main car parks, Braehead car park. I had chased every potential little lane and anything else. I even went up the private do not enter lines in case somebody rode a bike up the lane and put it beside a bin. Nah, I had even checked on the socials, these stupid Facebook marketplaces. I had checked on Facebase. I had checked on Gumtree, Craigslist. I mean, Craigslist is more for blowjobs, but I had checked everything. I had checked absolutely everything. I had even checked community lost and found in Facebook places. That was just nah. Yeah, it's just I've done as much as I could, and whilst I'm on it, I'll go and get. Level 10 security D-lock from Halfords. This is a quadruple locking mechanism with anti-pick technology. Lifetime guarantee. And you've seen my other lock in the other video. So I'm going to be double locked at all times. This is an extremely heavy lock. And as you heard on the phone call with Police Scotland there, I was actually talking to my officer about alarm locks. 120 decibels is enough to nigh on deafen people. And I was actually tempted to get it. But, and the magical but is, if someone diddles the lock or tries to fanny about in any way near the thing, it could actually falsely trigger an alarm, which could be blaring for hours. I could be maybe in Bayhead Shopping Centre doing my shopping, being completely innocent, and then suddenly I get a security tell me that something's going off and people are getting offended with the noise, the police are coming. Nah, fuck that. I mean, that's a level that you shouldn't need to get to. Getting an alarm that fucking loud that it could shatter people's eardrums. This, I think, is a bit more. I don't know. I think this is a bit more appropriate. And if a bike has two of these bad bastards going or similar, I think security should be pretty decent. And it's anti-pickable. You can't pick the lock. So yeah, okay, so you actually heard the update live from the gentleman on the phone. Now, this is the point where I'm sure even the police would not be too bothered about. Now, if anybody finds my video through the tags that I've put on, like Brayhead Car Park, is it Red Car Park, Brayhead Shopping Centre? If anyone finds this video and they know something about what happened to this black to 24 volt, so I'll do the description again. Black 24 volt, 250 watt, folding up electric bike. If you know anything, but anything, please, for the love of Chin Chin, get in contact. Get the comments. I've got the comments set to approved once approved. So what I mean is, if you know something about the whereabouts of the bike, you can comment in, but your comment doesn't become public. I get to see the comment, and then I can write down whatever your comment was, delete the comment, and then it goes on peaceably without anybody getting, basically, once you put the comment in, it doesn't become public. It comes through to me, comes through to my emails, and I pick it up, read it, and then action on it anonymously, and you'll never need to deal with anything. That's the way. That's the way I'm running it. I've always had comment approval on since 2012, but this could be a situation where you can anonymously talk to me if you've got any knowledge or anything like it. Have you got a brother who likes to steal? Have you got a weird uncle that's suddenly got a plethora of bikes in his bloody garage? But one says E plus. So it's E plus 24 volt, 250 watt folding electric bike. If you've got even a friend who likes to fucking tea leaf or anything like it, and you've seen something that could be my description, comment, and I'll take the steps through anonymously, and no one will be arrested. I mean, if this leads to a situation where the the bike gets returned without blemish, damage, or change of operation, charges will not be applied. Let I say. But I tell you one thing, if you do have knowledge of somebody that has caused damage to the bike, let me know, and we can do it professionally as described, and we'll get the people that are involved in it brought to justice, and the people that are innocent left aside. That is the way I think would be best to go on, and I'm sure the gentleman police would be actually not too bothered uh, about what I'm hopefully trying to get out there. I'm calling out anybody who knows anything about what's been going on, and we can deal with it professionally, because all you need to do is put a comment in, and remember, when you put a comment in, it will say comment pending. It's actually in my inbox, and then I can deal with what I see, and then the problem will be solved, and then possibly reuniting of me and the bike back. But anyway, that's my plan. But if I do get knowing of who the person is, let me tell you, if you're trying to hide from me, you're not hiding for long. The police aren't too far behind. The police are all over Braehead Shopping Centre right now, right? And they will be over the car parks in a couple of days. So if you think you're hiding, you're not really. And if the police come back to me saying, oh, we've got this guy's regi plate, or we've got this person's identity, I'll just say charge. The only way I'm not going to charge whoever is if the comments box gets used and it comes to a meaningful conclusion, where it actually comes to a conclusion where the bike's returned, or we get known who took the bike and why did the lock get picked, and all that stuff. That would be absolutely perfect, fine. But unfortunately, it's closer to, not going to be fine. But I'm trying to say, if you do know anything or you've seen something, use the comment box within this video. And remember, the comments, as said, are held. I'll read it privately, delete the comment when I've got the information, and then get things moving. Hopefully get the bike returned, or whatever. But ultimately, a lot of money, as I told you, and as I told the police officer, a lot of money had been lost from this situation. So just do the right thing and contact, and then things can get moving, and I can move on. It's a sense of moving on. Now, I want to kind of mention something that was brought up 7 days after. That's 160 hours and more since the bike was stolen. On Wednesday, I got a phone call talking about a status that I put up on Facebook within probably half an hour of the theft happen. And, I said, I'm going to, if I find the person that did this, I'm going to seriously hurt him. Whilst I stand by what I said, time has elapsed. The likelihood of getting the person physically is long gone. But, you've got to bear in mind, I was writing in a level of anger. I mean, a cause for concern, It was the 25th of May the bike got stolen. The cause for concern, because I had wrote so directly and talking about violence, was a week after, and it was under a cause for concern from a family member, right? Now, if I was having a cause for concern over a family member's well-being, the cause for concern would be addressed and closed within 24 hours, not 160 hours down the line, which is a week, of course. The whole thing would be actually met and dealt with and finished within a day. Because if I was a person that was under any kind of you heard a fart. If I was somebody that was having a cause for concern for their well-being, waiting 168 hours could be extremely detrimental, in the sense, if you seen someone a purported cause for concern and you didn't deal with it within 24 hours, the person could be dead. And then to leave it 168 hours plus, 1 week plus, it's the authenticity for a cause of concern is all gone. It's utterly gone. And I don't mind people bring statuses or this or that and next thing to my attention. That's absolutely fine. But with cause of concerns, you've only really got 24 hours if you're going to bother at all. And to leave it 168 hours, it's just picking a fight for the sake of picking a fight, really. It's just really like, I mean, the thing is, during my course, yes, I was very angry. Yes, I was upset. I was a bit lost, right? But I was never what I could deem a cause for concern. And I didn't feel like a cause for concern. I didn't have suicidal thoughts. I wasn't hallucinating. I wasn't hearing voices. There was no fucking cause for concern. I was livid. Somebody that touched a bit of equipment worth so much money. And then if I did catch him, yes, I honestly would have assaulted the person. And like on the status, I refer to Dundee Smile, right? But inevitably, never met a person. Probably never will. And for the moving on part of things, right? I did get myself a new bike. And I'm getting the things like the head and tail lights put on. I'm just waiting for them to appear from Amazon. USB powered. I mean, these three headlights I did have on the previous bike, collectively they were worth £80. So they could, the assailant could probably go into like cash generators and get a tidy amount of money from them. Let's be honest, it'd probably have enough for at least 2 score bags of hash or something. Whatever. But the cause of consent, it's good to air cause of consent, but if you're going to sit on it for 7 straight days, especially if there's some potential well-being at stake, you're just wasting your time. But ultimately, because are so frank, one family member was trying to cause an argument with another and trying to make my mum responsible for what I word on Facebook. In actual honesty, I've got to say, and I've got to say it the clearest way possible, the words you see upon my Facebook are mine and mine alone. Do not get my mum involved or try and make her involved with what is on my statuses and stuff like that, messages, right? She's not my puppeteer, and I'm not the puppet. The things you see here The things you see on my Facebook and the things you see in other channels are from me, and me alone. So if it's cause for concern, bring it to me directly. Stop trying to cause arguments with my mum. What is in front of you is through me and me alone. I'm not working on others' agendas like these influencers. I am me and me alone, right? To reassure, I'm doing okay. At the time of what happened, yeah, I was angry. I went through what seems to be a reasonable range of emotions at the time, albeit I was very public about what I was going to do if I caught the person moving my bike. But apart from that, I hope to fucking hell I had a reasonable range of emotions on the matter, and therefore, these emotions have all moved on, right? The likelihood of ever seeing that bike, as I said to the police officer, nah, I'm never going to see it again. Quite early in the process, when I was talking to my mate, I says, he said to me, and in fact, sorry, he said, "Are you getting a new bike or what?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. Should I hold on?" And he said, "Well, not likely. When you think of it, it's in a car park. The bike lock obviously got fingered open. All they need to do is just fold that bike in half, sling it in the boot, wham the door shut, and off it trots." And yeah, I mean, that's when I made kind of conversations with like Decathlon. They said, yes, we do have fold up electric bikes. Had a wee look, and maybe an naughty boy. I actually even had a word with a distributor to see if they could, if I gave money, could they deliver up to house? Yeah, happy days. So it took about a week to arrive, and I have got it. I'm just getting the things, like the tail light and headlight on, and putting keys on change. And now, like my keychain that I normally have in my pocket has house keys, etc. I'm putting on new locks and stuff like that, and whatever. So yeah, but I did want to talk about the kind of the cause of concern kind of thing, and I mean, I worked in complaint handling myself. Very, very brief amount of complaint handling, and things that cause for concerns, were known as Cat 1. Right? And Cat 1 needs to be raised, actioned, and closed in 24 hours. And that was the way of it. If you had a cause for concern sitting on 7 days, sitting on a table gathering dust, questions were getting asked and answered in that regard. So that was that one. Complaints, you've generally got, from incident to complaint raised, you've generally got 7 days. And in this occasion, it elapsed 7 days. It was nonsense. It was more some kind of projecting mission, and trying to project blame onto my mum for what I had said on Facebook. And it's like, no, she is not fucking responsible. It was me. If you've got an issue with me, talk to me about it. I'm a normal human being that can actually deal with a situation like that with no issue. But you were in the mental hospital in 2017. You probably don't know what we're talking about. How very ballistic. Just because I was in a hospital, as I said, in 2017, doesn't mean I cannot hand. That's like basically me saying, and I'm wanting to say it as loud as possible. Just because I was in a hospital in 2017 doesn't mean in any way, shape, form, or whatever I cannot handle dealing with the truth. Because the truth is like water. No matter where you go, no matter where anything is, it's a completely unescapable thing. And sometimes the truth brings us happiness, sometimes it brings us sadness, sometimes it positivity, sometimes negativity. But we cannot hide from the truth, and I will not hide from the truth. You can talk to me about what the fuck you want, even if it is give me a wee slap to the face, right? I can handle it. I'm not going to go off in some kind of riot. I am not going to be breaking down. I'm not going to be jumping in the bathtub, pouring the hot water in, and then slipping my wrists. No, that's not me. And that was not why I was in 2017. I can handle the truth, even if it hurts. Let's be honest, most of my 30 years of life has had things told to me that were unfortunate, unwelcome to ear, etc. etc. The only thing I could do was get the fuck on with it and just put up and shut up. But it's it's just a shame. I mean, I don't know why my mum had to be fucking like pillowed for blame when it was a situation that was on my shoes. The status is me. The video is me, as you see. Facebook, what you see on Facebook is me. If you don't like it, maybe I'm not the right person for you. That's all I'm going to say. I've covered things enough nicely. I tried to wait in for the audience. I don't know what the hell's happened, but anyway, anyway, right, I'm off.